Hi guys, so I'm having a bit of a crisis. So I haven't read all my literature book. I have to have that read by tomorrow, plus answer like 10 questions for each chapter. Then I have to do at least 12 pages for Viscom because I need to do more further research, generation of ideas, and then I need to do some design, like the next stage, which is like design concepts. I have that. I have some maths that I was like advised to go over just to, you know, so I know what I'm doing next. So this is all happening between today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, then I've got art, so I need to have most of my potential solutions done. I need to have a potential solution 2 pages with the actual writing part, and then I need to do the research, which is probably only about 6 pages, but that's for each, so like 12 roughly. I've done probably 4 for that, and for Viscom I need to do 12, so I need to do 12 for both. I've probably done like 5. Oh yeah, I'm going to Bulla tomorrow, so I don't actually have tomorrow to do it. Netball on Saturday, so I won't be able to do that either then. So basically I've only got today and Sunday. Instead of regaining myself before school goes back, I'm gonna have to do some all-nighters done, because or else I'm gonna just not have it done. And you know what, that's not how I want to start the last term of my schooling career. So this is a note to myself to like, I'm a little bit going crazy. Also that I need to get it done, like I'm trying, but I did organize a fucking ski trip when I shouldn't have done that. Mum, if you're watching this, I love you, and Dad, you're just a dick. So I just want to clear up, I don't hate my dad. I was stressing out and I sound so horrible. The way I'm talking is so whacker bitchy. It wasn't even really that big of a meltdown, but I just had so much on and I was like kind of trying to like say over and over in my head what I had to do. And then for some reason I just filmed it. So I thought I'd kind of put that in there if anyone wants to kind of relate. I don't know if you can relate to that. So I'm really amazed. I've just made tea. I have to show you guys this. That looks absolutely disgusting, but it's almond milk. So I'm guessing it does that. It probably does that when it's going off, but anyway, it tastes really good. So that's what I was surprised with. Anyway, hi, I'm back with a new channel. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm back with a new video. Today I've already actually filmed this video once, but I sat down, I did all of my makeup, really nice, and like, you know, I had my glow on, and I was like, this is not what this video is about. I wasn't really portraying what I was trying to like let you guys know that I felt throughout like my last year. So I was like, all right, let's be real. Let's sit down in our sweats. I haven't done my makeup or anything. I look a bit messy, but you know what? I'm trying to be real for y'all. So I'm here back with another video, back with my trusty journal, and I'm here to give you my top 7 tips on how to kind of survive your last year of school. Yeah, just how to kind of survive it, because we all know we need a little help every now and then to try and get us through things like this. So I thought I would try and help you all, because I wish that there were more videos like this rather than people crying and having meltdowns over it, because we've got to do it. So we may as well just find strategies to try and help us get through it rather than like sooking and whinging about it, you know? I reckon for me, this is the most important, or was the most important thing. Now I'm a really unorganized person. To get me somewhat organized, I need to have nice stationery. So what me and my mum did, had a mission. We're like, right, okay, going into year 12, we know you need nice things or else you're not gonna do the work. So I'm kind of someone like, I need nice diaries that are set out just the way I want. If I get a diary and it doesn't have like pages that I like or like that I want, I will not use it. It's really fussy, but like I'm not trying to be fussy. I just know I won't use it. I don't purposely refuse to. I just can't use it. I don't know how to explain it. Me and mum went into places like Kiki K, and I think that's where this one's from actually, because I loved this and it was just so simple. So we got things like this, like journals, diaries, nice pens that feel nice. If you do this at the start, I can guarantee you will get your work done. If you're anything like me, you'll want to use all of the stuff you've brought. You'll want to use your new books. You'll want to fill them out because it is so satisfying, like filling up pages. It's just great. So buy nice stationery. So that's the first one. The second thing I would say is probably by far the most important. I'm gonna say that these are all gonna be the most important, but this one, if you don't have this, I feel like it's really hard to get yourself going for the day. To create a morning routine for yourself. For me, I knew that I was a morning person, so I love getting up early and it makes me just feel better and refreshed for the day. In knowing that I would set my alarm. I would make sure that I would get up at 5:30. I'm not even exaggerating, every single morning. And what I would do as soon as I woke up, sometimes I would do it in my pajamas, sometimes I do it in active gear, whatever I was feeling, however tired or what would determine I did it. But I would go for a 1 kilometer walk down my driveway and back, and what that did was just got me up, moving, ready before the day kicked off. After that walk, I'd come inside and I would make sure to make a big breakfast. So I think also in your morning routine, you need to definitely have a big breakfast plan, because if you don't have yourself fueled for the day, you'll get to school and all you'll be thinking about is food, or all you'll be thinking about is drinking water to fill yourself up, because you don't want to be eating too much, because we all know we eat way too much in year 12. Like, just fucking eat a big breakfast and you're ready to go. I know for me, this sounds so depressing, but I would just literally go straight to food if I wanted to procrastinate. I'll go and make myself something like, oh, it's year 12, I need food. Like, no. So make yourself a big breakfast. I would usually go for probably either boil or fry an egg with avocado on toast, and that would fill me up. I'd have my coffee and I would be ready to go to school at 7 o'clock. For everyone, unless you have your P's, this isn't sometimes, or if your parents can't drive you, it's sometimes not the most practical thing. But I was lucky enough to have Dad teaching me at school. So he was going at 7 o'clock. So I would go to him and I would go every morning and study for an hour. Now, in this morning study, make it purely on kind of catch-up stuff. So if I had questions for my literature that I hadn't had done, I would do those. Or I would say I did art and bizcomm, and a big thing in those two subjects is portfolio. So I would get my portfolio kind of up to date. I would do the annotations, small things like that in the morning to get you going, rather than say writing a huge essay, because it's just not realistic and just wouldn't be able to focus that early in the morning. So I'd make sure I would set time apart. That was my time to kind of catch up on stuff, because that's when I worked best with doing that kind of thing. Leave the heavier stuff like the essays and the in-class harder stuff for that midday to the end of day kind of stuff. That's really important. I think whether you're a morning or night person, some people would leave the night to do that catch-up stuff, and that's perfectly fine. It's just knowing how you work and when that time is going to be most effective for you. So say if you can't get to school and you are a morning person, you need to have a desk in your room, or have a desk that you know is yours to use,
and use that for an hour in the morning if you wanted to. But really kind of knowing yourself and knowing how you study the best is like the most important thing, I think, and then just working from there routine wise. I just need a drink because I just talked a fuckload. Freak, that is so good. Almond milk, like, that stuff's usually disgusting. Today it's tasting good for some reason. Number 3, don't leave work to the last minute. Oh my God, I cannot stress this enough. Okay, being an unorganized person that I am, I would always think, oh my gosh, no, it's fine. Like, I've got all this work, I've got the weekend, I've got 2 days to just get it all done. Like, it's fine, I'll just leave it for the weekend. That doesn't work. I'm telling you now, that does not work. Keep telling yourself, but it doesn't. I told myself that so many times, and it gets to the weekend, and the last thing you want to be doing on your weekend is catching up on all of that shit. It just doesn't work. And because it's the last thing you want to do, it'll be the last thing you do. And then you'll leave it to Sunday, and then it'll carry on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the next weekend after that. Don't leave your work to the last minute because you end up falling further and further behind, and to catch up is just twice as hard. Like, it's just hard. Make sure you use your frees wisely, so then you have extra time to do shit after school that you want to do. Number 4, do not compare yourself to others. And I mean this more in the way of, you can't compare the work that you're doing. Say if you see someone working a hell of a load at school in their frees and stuff, which you probably should be doing anyway, but if you see them doing that and you start stressing out because you're not doing that, that is the kind of comparing yourself that you can't do, because you don't know how much they studied in the morning or night. They could have done nothing in the morning when you were doing a lot of stuff then. Or it could be the other way around, and they aren't working in their frees, and you think, oh, I won't work in my frees. But they could have done a couple of hours in the morning when you didn't, or they are planning to do a couple of hours at night when you're not planning to do that. Like, you can't go off what everyone else is doing. You purely need to go off what you know that you've done and work from that. If you are falling behind and people are in their frees and they're not doing anything, you need to do that work because they might have it under control and you don't. Like, you also might be trying to bust your guts out in your frees because all your other friends are, but sometimes you need to chill out a bit because you may have done heaps of work when they weren't. Like, kind of, you can't compare yourself to others work-wise because you really don't know how each other are working, like the way that you study. Everyone studies completely different, so you can't compare how you're all doing that. So with ATARs, please don't compare your ATARs at the end of the year, because ATARs just don't matter in the big scheme of things. And when I say that, I mean you might get a 99 ATAR, but you may not want to go to uni straight away, and your friend might get a 50 ATAR, but they still get into the course that they want to and they go to uni straight away. Like me, I got a high score, not by much, by some of my friends, and they're at uni this year and I'm not, because I still didn't get into the course that I wanted. Every course wants different scores. There are so many different variables that all add up. So if you're comparing your ATAR, you just can't, because it's literally so different for everything that everyone wants to do. Does that make any sense? Take it from me, I compared, and it just digs yourself a hole of self-esteem and all of the rest of it. It's just, don't waste your time on it, honestly. That sounded so stupid, but just don't. Number 5. This one, I think I did this one quite well. There is a reason that teachers hang around after school, and a reason that teachers create things like we had at our school, a thing called maths help, and all these help things like, I don't know if there's science help or English help. It's really important to use those resources and use teachers after school, because not many kids do. So therefore you've got one-on-one time with your teacher where you can ask all the questions in the world you want to, and you literally get to write down notes firsthand, the teacher telling you whilst you're having one-on-one interaction. Like, it is so good to do that. And the teachers are there, and the teachers want to help you. The teachers want to get the best out of you. Why the fuck not use them? Like, you're using it to your advantage. You might be staying even half an hour behind at school when really half an hour is nothing. And you could be getting all of these awesome notes from your teacher, and no one else has them. You just decided to use that extra half an hour where you would probably be sitting on your phone at home with a teacher discussing your work. It's so important to realize that when you start wanting to learn, things become so much more interesting when you actually want to listen and want to learn, because you don't get bored in focusing on the time and watching the time tick by. Actually fully engaging, things become quite interesting. So do that, and you might find out things you didn't even talk about in class. God knows what you find out, but Number 6. This one I definitely did well, but this one I think is also one of the hardest things to do. Leaving time for yourself and family. I say that this one's hard because you have so many things you're trying to toss up. Oh, yuck. So many things you're trying to toss up. So you might have sport, friendships, family, time to yourself, like extra work, you know, all of these different things that you're trying to take into account. It's really hard to find time for just yourself and just spending time with your family. If you can, like setting an hour a night to be with your family and engaging with them, having that time fully to just zone out from school and putting everything else aside and focusing fully on them.
Also playing with your animals, but like how cute is he sitting?
For me, a lot of my me time really needed, because I just needed to kind of sit down, regain, let everything else go, because of course I overthink absolutely everything in my head. So pretty much everything's already planned out in my head before it actually happens. I had time to myself to kind of relax myself and perspective. So whether that was sitting down, this sounds so, I don't know why, but it helped me, so don't judge because it's actually really nice. But I did a lot of yoga and meditating stuff where I would just sit in my room. Oh my God, people are gonna start picturing this in their head. Am I gonna put this in the video? Yeah, I am, because I'm being real with you. I would sit in my room and I would go onto YouTube and I would like list up meditation sounds. Just sit and close my eyes and just breathe. And when you do that, I would really focus on my breathing, and I would, as soon as like thoughts tried to enter my head, I would just kick them out, kick. I needed to just zone out. And once I would come out of that, sometimes I did it for 15 minutes. I was like, okay. So life isn't stopping. Life keeps going on. Even when you're stressed, this big thing that you're building up in your head is not as big as you think. Yeah, you just come out of it with more perspective, I guess. So that was how I spent my me time. Other people might use their me time, watch Netflix, or to go for a run or something like that. But, I did that too. But yeah, leaving time for yourself and doing things that you want to do just for a little bit. Putting that into your routine. Last but not least, number 7 is journaling. Now this, I guess this was kind of a part of my me time, but it was more a part of my routine at night. In bed, before I went to sleep, I would get out my trusty old journal. I would just have a pen on my bedside table and I would just write. Literally just write whatever it was in my head, whether it was good thoughts, bad thoughts, good things that happened in the day, bad things that happened in the day, inspiring things that I wanted to get done, inspiring quotes I made up out of nowhere. I would just write it down. And it felt so nice, kind of just like blurting things onto a page, because this thing, no one ever reads these. These are literally just for you to get everything out, and it's kind of like talking to someone, but without having any judgment. Kind of refreshing, I guess. It's really, really good for you. I recently have been reading a book called Something of Joy, Dalai Lama and the Archbishop, and they talk about ways to make your life more joyful. And they have all these practices at the end of the book to try and like get them into your day-to-day life. And one of the things they said to do was to try and be more grateful, to write down 3 things that you appreciate every single day. And that I have been doing lately, and I would highly recommend doing that in your final year. Things can tend to get a little bit negative and just kind of overwhelming. Basically just negative, and I think this writing 3 things you appreciate a day turns your thinking more positive, if that makes sense. Like if you've had a really shit day and you pick out 3 things that were good in that day, it kind of turns it from a shit day to I actually had some good parts of that day, like to a bit more positive. It's all that mentality, that positive thinking that will get you through year 12. And it's so hard sometimes, but allowing yourself to see the good parts helps so much with dealing with the bad parts. Trust me, I had my fair share of meltdowns. I'm inserting a clip at the start, and it is a genuine meltdown I was having. I was falling behind, and you need to have meltdowns, but yeah, it's funny. Anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope this helped you, and I think if you're to get anything out of this, creating a routine, making journaling a part of that routine, whether it's the morning or night, just knowing yourself and how you work at the year and going purely off of that and no one else. I think they're the 3 main things you should get out of this video, and that helped me a lot last year. So I hope you enjoyed. Kick butt, because you can, and you will.